Okay, we're going live. Okay. And hopefully live in the right place today. I don't know if it's shown live in the right place today. I don't think so. Oh, here we go. We are live. Awesome. So, hi everyone. This is our session this week is transitioning to the DAO. As you may have known, if you're in our networks, you've seen that we are promoting a regenerative finance token that we're launching on blockchain. And as you may know, both of us here, Dr. James and I, are both co-founders of the Centre for Sustainable Action and of SDG Assessment. And this is basically an ecosystem for change around sustainability. And part of the decentralized regenerative finance is the DAO. So I am going to hand over this conversation for now to Dr. James to explain what the DAO is. And then I also have some questions at the end. And I'll be looking in the chat to see if you have any questions. Okay? So over to you, Dr. James.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Lowellyne James. I'm very excited to explain to you our approach to the DAO, right? So DAOs are decentralized autonomous organizations, and it's a mechanism by which we hope to manage our SDGA token. So just to give you some background, the Center for Sustainable Action was established by myself and my co-founder Sian Young back in 2021, and we began looking at how we could embed sustainability within small to medium-sized enterprises. And as a result of our work, we then began to develop a digital measurement and reporting system that we now use today, and it's called SDG assessment. Ooh, the slide just slightly went too far ahead. So as part of our work with SDG assessment, we realized that there was a gap in financing of SDG related projects. So today, what we'll cover as part of this conversation is understanding DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations, and their potential, and why the CSA is embracing this decentralized approach and the benefits of a DAO for sustainable action and how you could participate. So let me move on to the next slide. What we envision at the Center for Sustainable Action is that a global community is established, empowered by blockchain technology and fueled by transparent and accountable governance. And the DAO helps us towards this particular future. Now, the Center for Sustainable Action, unlike most organizations, it's both a limited company and it's also a cooperative. So, for those of you who don't know what cooperatives are, they are member-led organizations that have a purpose and also support members through financially through the generation of profit. So we are, in essence, a profit-driven organization with a purpose. Now, the intention is through the framework of the cooperative, we will support the development of the SDGA token. So it may be crossing your minds now, why is this topic important? The traditional model for success within sustainable development faces a number of challenges. One is transparency, accountability, and community engagement. Now, decentralized autonomous organizations, or DAOs, offer a different approach to address these issues that foster a more inclusive and impactful ecosystem. And it's digitally led. So hence why we are utilizing this particular technique to help the token be more transparent. And this is something that we have realized through our own research, looking at digital assets and digital currencies, in particular the cryptocurrency space. So let's dive deep into what a decentralized autonomous organization actually is. Firstly, it's community led. However, the rules are encoded on a blockchain. So in the case of the CSA, Center for Sustainable Action, we are democratic in nature. We intend to share or distribute profits amongst members. We also intend to provide education and support to members in their journey towards sustainable development goals. Secondly, decision making is made via proposals, and voting is done by token holders, ensuring transparency and eliminating central control. So, yes, we have a leadership team which consists of Sean, myself, and other co founders. But nonetheless, we want to ensure that decisions regarding investing in a particular type of digital asset, whether it be a cryptocurrency or a real world asset that has been tokenized, is made not from a pure central perspective, but also amongst other token holders. So think of it broadly as an internet native organization whereby decision making is transparent and available to all within our ecosystem. So you may be wondering, well, okay, the Center for Sustainable Action is already a cooperative, and by essence, cooperatives are member-led organizations, more or less purposeful in nature, whether that purpose be to achieve a specific social good or a financial objective. Is it necessary to transition to a DAO? So, what a DAO does is that how it increases that transparency, and any decision is publicly recorded on the blockchain. It promotes enhanced community engagement. So token holders have a direct say or input into the organization's direction. It's not only done from a top-down strategic white paper, which we have published on the SDGA site, but nonetheless, token holders have an opportunity to shape how that process evolves over time. It improves efficiency through smart contracts and automated processes, which reduces administrative overhead. So we don't need quite a huge team in order to manage the DAO. This could done more efficiently using automated processes. So how will it work? Well, we envision that token governance, or the governance of the SDGA token, will be managed by the Center for Sustainable Action as a corporate partner. The Center for Sustainable Action has the administrative controls, the experience in managing cooperatives and cooperative members, and as well as there's a learning management system that we could tap into as a token, where we could support token holders with understanding sustainability, and more or less embedding sustainability within our within projects that we invest in the future. So token holders will have the ability to submit and vote on proposals, in particular investment proposals that related to funding sustainability related projects and strategic direction and other community initiatives. Transparent treasury. So all funds will be managed via a multi-signature wallet requiring multiple approvals for transactions. So the treasury or the reserve fund, which underpins the liquidity of the token, will be managed through a transparent process. All token holders will have visibility of what investments are being utilized within the reserve fund, and as well as have a say into the types of investments that are actually being undertaken within the reserve fund. Community driven initiatives will also be promoted, whereby members, and that is token holders, could propose and implement new sustainability projects. Of course, undertaking the appropriate sustainability risk management controls that we have within our ecosystem, which is a topic that we'll have within the next 2 to 3 weeks, where we explain and we demonstrate how our sustainability risk management system actually works in practice. Uh, I'm currently working on that particular project with other team members. So the Center for Sustainable Action is part of the wider SDGA token ecosystem. So we have the founders, one of them being myself, the other being Sian, and our co-founders who are busy right now actually providing technical support for the team. We also have SG assessment, and SG assessment is the sustainability assurance aspect of our ecosystem. So SG assessment provides um, helps us understand how projects impact in the real world. So we have a two-layer assessment system, SG level one, which looks at small to medium-sized enterprises and how they align their strategy towards UN Sustainable Development Goals. And we have the SPF Plus scorecard, which looks at all 61 UN Sustainable Development Performance Indicators that were ratified in 2022. And we are using that as a analysis framework by which we select um, SG type or SG linked projects within which to invest. So we have our team, a very efficient team that consists right now of 6 members. We have the reserve fund, which I spoke about, that will be managed by SG assessment and the SDGA token team. And we also have token holders, which form part of our ecosystem. So it's a very well thought out strategic approach towards how we're going to manage the SDGA token, providing a sustainability based approach to what we do. So, what are the benefits of a DAO? So, there's democratized funding, there's global collaboration, so seamless participation from individuals and organizations worldwide who may invest in a SDG token. And there's also innovative solutions. Uh, it provides a more agile, digitally led approach to addressing sustainability challenges. So I like to confirm our commitment towards a community driven approach to utilizing the SDGA token. And that approach is through using a decentralized autonomous organization framework, again, based upon cooperative principles. One token holder, one vote, a very democratized approach, providing transparency and information, and ensuring that decision making will be in the best interest of fostering a sustainable and equitable future. So I'd like to conclude my very short overview of how the CSA partners as part of our ecosystem in the DAO. I'll just go back to the ecosystem slide, and I'll look forward to what Sian has to ask me. regarding our approach. So over to you, Sean.
Hi, I hope people found that interesting. I want to clarify on a few points, and you may have said them, but I did have to run away for a second, so I might have missed them. So, who can vote on the DAO?
Right. So to be clear, the DAO is for token holders. Right now, currently we have cooperative members as part of the Center for Sustainable Action, and those members have a separate voting mechanism, which is based upon conventional cooperative principles. So we have a annual AGM, and they vote on that AGM. However, for the purposes of the SDGA token holders will vote digitally using an electronic process,
And to be
right?
clear, some of our cooperative owners have invested in the token, so they'll
Well,
vote as well as their cooperative share vote. Um,
they have the
and
best of both worlds.
And I know that the centre will be managing and overseeing the DAO so that it's essentially is part of the same ecosystem as SDG assessment, but it's a community driven view to democratize where the funding goes. And did you speak about the accelerator program?
No, and I'm happy you raised that.
So
So,
can I say about this?
okay, go ahead,
Yeah.
Shan.
So basically, at the center, we're all about the human and the education and supporting the human to be able to run businesses that are sustainable and not at the cost of their health, their well-being, their mind, their body, and the planet. And so we want to make sure that any business that goes forward to the DAO vote has gone through a process that means they're investor ready. Okay, so we have an accelerator program. And that accelerator program will be each business that comes to us. Like we've had some businesses come to us who want to be put forward to the DAO, and they will go on the accelerator program. They'll go through the SDG assessments and the frameworks that you spoke about. And then we'll realize at the end of that process, are they investment ready and ready for the SDGA token? Or what I love about this ecosystem is that if they're not investor ready, we're not saying, oh, sorry, you're not investor ready, no good. What we're doing is then they will become part, if they want to, they will become part of the cooperative ecosystem. And the cooperative plans to take a management fee for running the DAO. And this part of this management fee, the cooperative has committed to putting into a sponsorship pot. So those businesses that are not investor ready yet, after going through the accelerated process, and it will become clear where their holes are, where the gaps are in learning, they then have an opportunity to apply for the sponsorship fund. Because what we want to do is make sure that businesses who are doing creating sustainable change are supported. And that's the whole reason we're doing this is to fund awesome businesses that are doing amazing things around sustainability and the sustainable development goals, but are not getting the funding they need, but are absolutely great investment vehicles. And then we realize the power in the grassroots movement. We realize the power in that business that's maybe not quite there yet, but through the educational support of the cooperative and our community, they can then apply for the sponsorship fund to help get their business to the point where they are ready for the DAO. So that is something I really wanted to share because as you may notice, I'm very passionate about what we're building, and that is the whole point. It's it's no one will get left out sort of idea. And we have proven systems to bring people through so that we can go from knowing nothing about sustainability or not being able to prove it or get funding, but you know what you're doing, to then taking you through systems where we can prove what you're doing, prove the impact of it, verify the impact, and then put you in front of funders. So I just wanted to say that, Llewellyn.
Oh,
So I want to ask you,
yes, go ahead.
what role do you see the DAO playing in regenerative finance in our SDGA ecosystem? What's your vision for that?
Right. So, regenerative finance, as we discussed last week, is the application of um, new emerging financial technologies towards helping restore the planet and apply a nature-based approach towards financing of projects. Now, with that broad remit in mind, the DAO will act as a place whereby not only the ideas of the SDGA leadership and founders will be put towards this particular audience, but we'll get feedback from the audience upon which we could identify where priorities lie. So we may believe that, okay, let's say, for example, a specific project looking at um, recycling of glass or plastic might be lucrative financially, but however, there may be emerging priorities which might be water, providing clean, potable water, sanitation, right? That may have lucrative financial return for the SDGA token ecosystem. So we are not our view is that how sustainability is a balanced approach of the economic, social, and environmental. But specifically, as one person defined it, sustainability is the persistence of firm specific profits. So we are very much of the view that we cannot be sustainable if we are not making profits. And hence why we are not taking a siloed approach towards our decision making. We'll provide, sorry, I should say, token holders with firm proposals as to the return on investment on a specific SG type or link project, right? And get their feedback in terms, is this project something that we should invest in as a ecosystem and a community to generate profitability for everyone within the ecosystem. So as again, it's a very collaborative approach towards managing digital tokens.
And not just collaborative, equitable.
Very strong word.
That's the word I love. Equitable. Because as we all know, we have conversations all over line. I see it everywhere. We know, and the research backs it up, that without a diverse table of people making decisions, you don't get the innovation that you could have. And so that is the point of this whole project as well. And so for investors that might really don't know anything about DAO, and what's the benefits of them participating if, say an investor becomes a token holder and they've never used a DAO before, like what what um what is the benefits for them participating in that? How do they do it?
Right. So our our DAO and its voting mechanism will all be online. All right. When a project is proposed, that project will have already been pre-vetted, meaning that how the project purpose, vision, mission, values, and financial return will have been pre-vetted through our accelerator program. What we'll do is that we'll bring the proposal to the DAO for token holders to have a look at it as a investment opportunity. And should they wish for this particular project to go ahead, they will then stake tokens, meaning that how they will invest their tokens into that project, and that will be visible to all, right? So we will not be saying that, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 projects are the only projects that will be invested in. However, we'll put that to a vote and say, well, okay, here are 5 projects, how much will you as a token holder be willing to stake on a project? And whatever that quantity is, that is the investment that will be undertaken.
And so that leads me on to my next question, really. How does SDGA's DAO model ensure security and trust for its participants, particularly when dealing with high stakes investments in sustainable projects?
Well, one, we have a robust risk management methodology, which we'll be discussing later on this particular Ask Me Anything um, podcast. That risk management methodology is based upon assessing the overall, or so I should say, evaluating the performance of a particular project or cryptocurrency against all 61 UN SDPI indicators. So, as I intimated previously, the UN has created 61 UN Sustainable Development Performance Indicators, and we have created a scorecard based upon these indicators, which will evaluate each project. We benchmark each project against it, and we provide that data to token holders in a transparent fashion. This will be available on the blockchain for token holders to see. So everyone within our ecosystem could see exactly, because it's on the blockchain, these are the tokens. Sorry, these are the projects that we're going to invest in. Here is the return on investment that or payback period within which we hope to recoup one the investment and also get a reasonable return on that particular investment. Secondly, it's digital, meaning that how it's real time. There's no delay between a project being put out there and a vote being taken. So the project will be put out there um, for all to see on our system as a token holder. Token holders could then, stake um, using the SJ token for, of course, a return on that particular investment.
And how do they get their return?
Well, that return is built into the token itself. So previously, well, sorry, conventional approaches is that you will wait until the end of the year in order to get that particular return, right? And it has to be tallied up. And however, we'll build into the smart contract that if for that particular project there's the return is, let's say, 4% of all profits from that project will be allocated towards token holders equitably, right? That will be built into the smart contract itself.
So then what safeguards are in place with the SDGA DAO to ensure that the funds and decision-making process remain transparent and free from corruption? Because I know everybody wants to know how we keep that transparent and safe.
Right. So, and this is one reason why we created a DAO. So there's a separation between the administration and the management of the reserve fund, right? No one individual has the authorization to um, take um, tokens or money or profit taken off of the reserve fund. No one person has access to it. So that's one. Secondly, the the DAO acts as a check and balance on the founders and other key investors that may come on board. So we have limited the amount of tokens for anyone to a maximum of 5%. Now, what that does, that prevents any one individual or group of investors from having, um, well, outsized impact on the decision-making process. The third bit is that how our investment thesis reduces risk, right? So we are focused on the long term. We are not taking short term decisions in terms of what projects to invest in. Because if we invest in a project, it's for the long term. We're taking a 5, 10 year approach to it. So that does provide some amount of confidence for token holders that we're not here. This is not a meme coin, right? This is a utility token. It's a project by which we want to close the financing gap for SDG related um, type initiatives. And we hope to do this at least by capturing at least 25% of the market between now and 2030. It's a big task, yes, but we have the team
Well, that's the beauty
and we
as
have
well
the
of cooperation and collaboration,
yeah.
because it's a big task, but we have some very smart, amazing people on our team and also in our network, in our field, like all around, because you know, like attracts like, right? So, final
Yes, it does.
question. Yeah. Final question.
Is that
Because
all? Are we near the end?
well, we started 5 minutes late. So
This is true.
we're going
Technical
over
issues.
we're going over the allotted time by 6, 7 minutes. Okay. So my last question is, and I'm excited to see you respond to this. What excites you the most about the future of the DAO and its potential to transform not just blockchain, but industries like finance, governance, and sustainability?
Right. So I'm excited by the opportunity of making this a grassroots driven organization. So we live in a very, well, I should say, scandalous moment in human history. We have more people with mobile phones than have access to bank accounts. And in order for sustainable development to be led by the bottom tier of humanity, we need to give them access to financing. And this is my view that the SGA token could be that opportunity to get towards a more equitable approach towards financing. Give people access to financing, give them a way of participating in the wider global system of exchange and trade. And this is our project. This is at the heart of our project. I am passionate about it. I am dedicating my research, my time, and a lot of my personal energies towards that particular
A
vision.
lot of our personal energies. I know everybody
Yes.
out here have heard of bootstrapping and, are building tech businesses. What we've achieved thus far is phenomenal.
Yeah.
But look at my eyes. They're tired from
Don't say that.
from
Don't
what we're
say that.
building. Yeah, I'm the human element. That's who I am. That's why this balance is off. But yeah, so on that note, we are going to stop this live stream now. We'll be back next week. Let me just check the topic for next week. The benefits and the features of the SDGA token. So that's what we're going to bring next week. And we look forward to hopefully seeing you then, or if this is a replay for you, enjoy it.